Hi, I'm Niki Vogel. I'm doing my post for discussion board 2. It's the second language acquisition learning project. Um, for myself to learn a second language the last 5 weeks, I focused on Spanish. It's a language that I tried to learn in the past pretty unsuccessfully. I think I mentioned in my first video how I knew minimal words, remembered minimal words, very non-conversational, and learning a little bit about how to acquire a second language with this course. I understand why now. So with that, the last 5 weeks, I've used one of the recommended sources, which was this Duolingo app here. It's a little green out. It's Duolingo. And I thought the best way to show the evidence was through the app. I thought this was really neat too. It has been, and I'm sorry if you'll see me focusing this some, but it's really encouraging because it gives you different levels you can achieve, and I'll try to make it where you can see it. So this one here is a level like if you do a 3-day streak, which I did a couple times, I'm proud to say, or 2-day streak a couple times, and then I hit a 3-day streak. This one here is when you earn points. The scholar one I thought was really neat. It's hitting different levels. I also earned the champion reward 2 times, which is just, they can tell that you've been practicing and you kind of advance to that next level. So they make the words and the phrases a little bit more challenging. And I also got, the one I'm most proud of was this sharpshooter app award. And it's when you complete 20 lessons with no mistakes. Since I had told you that my experience with Spanish was pretty limited, it was really hard initially. Like, I had set a goal for myself on how long I wanted to do it or how many points I wanted to achieve, and I wasn't hitting that simply because I was doing the free version of the app, and you get 5 little lives each day, and when you make 5 mistakes, those lives are gone. And so the first week, I would say I was doing about 5 minutes a day if I was lucky, because I was just making a lot of errors on pronunciation. I was selecting the wrong answers. I was doing pretty horribly. It was nice because I started to do better. There were some days when I was really hitting a streak, but time wouldn't permit me to do it because I had gotten to where I was doing it like 45 minutes and I still had a life left. But I think that's also really encouraging because I could see that I was learning. So with that, for evidence of my learning, I want to go ahead and say that I'm going to do a bit of this app. I'm going to keep it pretty short since the video is only going to be 5 minutes. But I just wanted anyone that was thinking about doing a second language and considering using the app to see it kind of in action. I do feel like my reading of the language has gotten better. Speaking has definitely gotten better. Listening, it's really good to hear the enunciation. Writing is the one that I struggled with. I haven't really practiced the writing. It's not something I do on here. It's more of a matching at this point. And to be honest, with the writing, it's not something I feel that I'm ready for. So I haven't dove into that. But what I'm going to do here is just kind of get a little mini lesson going. So this one's kind of fun. It's on shopping. You can hit start. And it will say which of these is a dress. And it has the term. And I'll zoom it in again. Which of these is the dress? It has the term, but it also has the pictures. I find these really, really helpful. And some people might think, well, of course it's helpful. It's giving you the answer with the pictures. But for me, I'm a really visual learner. It's something I've learned about myself through the years. So even though the picture's there and it's helpful, seeing the picture paired with the word is what's most helpful for me. So I would select the El Vestido. So as soon as you select it, someone comes to pronounce it for you, which is nice because then when you move on, you hit check, you get your green correct. Which of these is brown? Well, this one's a little harder because there's 2 things on here that could be brown. Since this one's the paint and I've done this app for a while, I know it's this one. But what I like is that when you select your answer, you are going to hear someone do the correct pronunciation of the word.
Marrón,
Marrón.
marrón.
You hit check, you get the ding if you get it, the error when you don't get it.
Vestido marrón.
So now we have a phrase. Once you hit a few words, it moves on to a phrase.
Un vestido marrón.
And it's going to ask you to do the pairing. So I believe this is saying a brown dress. That's correct. So I chose that. After going through a few more, I'm just going to do a couple of these to try to get us to this point. You'll get another pronunciation where you select it. And then after that, so this is a gray hat.
Yo necesito una camiseta.
So this is translate this sentence. And right now you're just selecting the words, but then you'll move to the point where you speak into the phone and you have to translate it. So with this app, I think it's helpful in a lot of ways that I just talked about. But the other way that I tried to improve my learning, because I tried to pick things, seeing that this was a 5-week language learning, I wanted to really try to do all that. And I knew time-wise I was pretty limited, so the app was helpful for me because I could do it as long as I wanted or as little as I wanted each day. The other thing that I tried to do, which I thought was really kind of fun and encouraged me to watch a few more movies, was I put on subtitles. And I did that because whenever I lived in Asia, I remember a lot of my friends that spoke really great English told me, oh, we learned English because we have American television. Even when we have on Mandarin shows, it'll have English subtitles. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put on Spanish subtitles and see if it helps. And I do think just getting that like extra viewing of words was really helpful for me, again, being a very visual person. Some things from the course that I've learned that have really helped me kind of give myself a little grace and understanding about maybe why I haven't picked up in the language in the past were the very first module when we talked about social factors. It's something I didn't consider before, but now I get, because even now I feel like I'm probably more submerged in Spanish than before, because before I had tried it with Rosetta Stone and it was just, I wasn't that diligent about it. The great thing about the app is it will send you a reminder and it's very pressure filled. If you're not doing it, it just like goes off and you're like, oh, I gotta do my Spanish. I'm not meeting my goals. Rosetta Stone does not do that, so you have to be really driven to do it, whereas the app kind of helps drive you. But social factors, level of immersion. Again, with Rosetta Stone, I wasn't really immersed. With this, I'm a little more immersed in it, but I don't have a lot of friends that speak Spanish with me. I have a lot of classmates that are fluent in Spanish, but they tend to speak English in the classes that we're in. Students tend to speak English. I don't have a lot of involvement in the Spanish community in Houston, so immersion is pretty low for me. I just don't have that connection to my second language community. And after reading about how important that social factor is, it makes me more understanding with myself about why maybe I'm not progressing as quickly as I had hoped and things of that nature. As far as things that I didn't expect to enjoy this assignment as much as I did. I also had kind of gotten discouraged, as I talked about the first time that I really tried to do Rosetta Stone. I didn't have the drive that I wanted. It wasn't happening as quickly as I thought it should. I think I'm a smart person. I thought I should be picking things up a lot more quickly. And I think internally I got really discouraged. So what surprised me this time around was how optimistic I was, and with that, how much I was improving. And I think it's just a difference between knowing yourself a little bit better and having something that really works for you. I'm a huge fan of this app. I had my kids do a little bit on the app with the shirts, and they're 4 and 5. Of course, they can't read, but I would read the question to them, and they would look at the picture, and then they would hear the word, and they started repeating the word. So I think this app could even be used for really young kids. So with that, that's been my experience with the second language acquisition project. I'm sorry my video has gone a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but I had a lot to say. Thank you for listening.